We're kind of in the limbo area here.
I see we're live.
You do? Okay. Well,
Yes.
as Ivan was telling us, we can't have any dead time. So, Erika, we need you to share us a joke or something right now until we get started. But
No, we don't need a joke.
no, Lawrence is the one who's good with the jokes here. I'm going to welcome you to the Ripple Effect here with Erika Gimbel. And Erika, thanks for the awesome background you have there. It reminds me of my tower garden that I got out that you loaned me. So if you don't mind just introducing yourself and telling us what that cool background is you have.
Yeah, this is a fun background I've been playing with. It is a picture of my vertical gardens, the vertical gardens. And how is your tower doing on this blustery day? Did you check it?
Oh, it's okay. We haven't gotten that much sun. It's been rain, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
it'll come. And you might need to redo some little starters, but no worries, it will come.
Yeah, they have a bunch of seeds down at Safeway, so we might. I want to
Yeah,
do another planting, but
go for it.
I'm
I have a
excited.
ton
The
of,
girls love it. No,
really
I probably like it the most, but Carrie has a bit of a green thumb to her, and
awesome.
I
Well,
mean
so you
Elvira is
asked
also a
me.
very good cook too, so she'll love all the. We're gonna actually plant raised planters too. You know, a whole system this year of
Yeah.
vegetables for our kind of, my healthier diet. I've continued on my two vegetables a time, and but we'll
Great.
talk more about that. But I want to thank you too for finding our great guest here, who I'm going to put us in the boxes and just read an intro. Then I'm going to allow you to give a personal intro. But
Okay. And you were asking me about me. Not only do I grow food, but I'm also a therapist here in the Bay Area and beyond. And I am happy to be your co-host on the Ripple Effect. And David is a videographer and also creating leadership programs. And so it's so great always to work with you, David.
yeah, good to be here. And if you're just joining our show, this is really a COVID podcast that we haven't been able to give up, focused on health issues, and the kind of brainchild of both Erika and I think her expertise is more the health, although I've gotten more into it too. And it's been a lot of fun, and we really look forward to doing a lot more with it. But we're going to get right to Rob. And if you have any comments on this podcast, feel free to make them. Erika, we need a quick tagline, but
sure, go for it. Let's read Robin's introduction, and then let's get Robin going.
Yeah, Robin has the full setup there. She's a fierce champion and entrepreneur whose passion is empowering women through her global work, social impact writing, and public speaking. As CEO and founder of Tangled Silver magazine, she is encouraging women to embrace, celebrate, and be inspired in life. As the soulful creator behind the first magazine by and for Silver Gray Sisters, she's embarked on an adventure for changing the narrative around aging and gray for women. Robin created the what is that? So the number I am silver beauty, hashtag I am silver beauty movement through the magazine as a call to action for women to define beauty and aging on their own terms. She works with individuals, organizations, and brands, curating positive silver lifestyle musings, leading to collaborative connections between ourselves, consumers, and brands. When asked about what aging women want, she's quick to point out women don't need the fountain of youth. Women want the fountain of lifestyle. Understanding the difference is a game changer. Embrace you, celebrate her, be inspired, silver for the win. And with that, we're going to introduce Robin, and welcome to the broadcast. And if you don't mind just telling us who you are, Robin, and kind of what you do. Oh,
hi.
If Erika wanted to say a quick testimonial, we'll save that for after you.
Okay, sure. Right on.
So am I good?
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
I'm sitting there thinking, that's a mouthful you just read. We may have to condense and shorten that down a little bit.
We read the full bio when we have it, so I like it. Yeah.
kind of summed it up. So yes, Robin, as you said, the kind of the silver champion lifestyle entrepreneur, embarked on a journey of midlife and going silver in 2018 prior to COVID. After having grown up really just loving silver and never being fearful of aging from the perspective I knew I'd be silver at some point. I always thought I'd be in my 70s or beyond. But I hit my 50s and was kind of tired of coloring and worrying about all that has to do with that. And thought I'm just going to stop coloring and let my hair come in silver and see what happens. Very, very negative in the beginning in the sense that not a lot of people were doing it back then. There weren't a lot of people, a lot of visuals showing anything with gray for women that wasn't little old ladies with their hair pulled back up in tight little buns, walking around with little rocking chairs, and the images of, men are sexy as they age, whereas women tend to be like they're getting haggard or letting themselves go. And I am very visual and I love to write. And so in December of 2020, I just kind of launched a magazine. I said, okay, 3 weeks from now, January 15th, I'm going to launch Tangled Silver magazine. And my husband came upstairs after I put that on Instagram and went, what did I just read? I'm like, yep. And he's like, and how are you going to do that? I'm like, I'm going to do it. He's like, do you even have a concept? I'm like, I've got the concept. Don't know when I'm going to talk to you yet, but I got 3 weeks to get it done and we're going to get it out there. And so we launched we launched the magazine as a way to kind of help other women see other visuals and see what potentially could happen. Because there are a lot of women out there that aging is not stopping us. It's not going silver is not stopping us. And the old narrative around women letting their silvers come in is definitely not true. And it's not your grandma's gray anymore.
Great. Yeah, I actually come from a background in journalism, and one of my first professional jobs was creating a magazine actually around politicians and corporations getting busted for breaking the law. So that was a lot of fun. But I wrote, my boss was a big reporter for the Wall Street Journal and some other magazines. So I just love the kind of power of journalism and telling stories through journalism, and just magazine, especially is a great way to get the message out. And Erika, do you have you had a chance to pick up a copy of the magazine, or if you don't mind telling us how you found Robin and the great work that she does?
I would love to. Robin was attending a Gather community meeting where I was speaking a couple of Fridays ago, and it was just like I was messaging her, hey, let's connect, and here's my scheduler. And then I saw your magazine. I was just like, yes, people not having to expose themselves to toxic properties. That is, I have a friend that you actually know that she wrote this book, Get Naked, and it's about, she had a cancer scare because she was dyeing her hair. And so I really appreciate what you're creating. It's like making it, whatever's happening, it's beautiful. You're beautiful. Everybody's beautiful, and making room for the beauty of what that is. Growing gray. I'm going gray. And it's fine. It's wonderful. And just how do we make the culture accept and celebrate and embrace what is happening, as opposed to doing something to ourselves? Like how many, if you ever saw the vagina monologues, like how many sprays, potions, lotions, tinctures, things do you need to do to make yourself smell like something else? I think, Jerry Seinfeld was like, I want to have the smell of new car interior, like these different smells and things we do to ourselves to make us smell or look like something that we're not. It's just, it is what it is. So I appreciate what you're creating, Robin.
Well, thank you. I think it falls in along, like, you were saying that this is really about health. And I feel like self-help is also we talk about like what's wrong with us, physically a lot of times, but we don't necessarily talk enough about the mental health, and especially around aging. I find that, I was one that was fighting it. I mean, if you'd asked me in my 20s or 30s, I would have told you I was going to die. I was going to die fighting aging. Is what was my mentality back then. And then in my 40s, I started realizing, like, wow, like, since when did it become a bad thing to suddenly age and embrace who we are today, good and bad, right? Like I've had both my hips replaced. That was something that at 47, I wouldn't have expected to have to do, but it was genetic. that kind of came into play. And I'm like, okay, well, is that going to stop me? Am I going to stop doing all my activities? Am I yoke? No, but I had to find a different way to embrace aging and realize that it's not a fight, or it doesn't have to be a fight. I mean, we get this narrative that we're supposed to do everything we can to quit aging and to keep coloring our hair to stay young. And yet, how healthy is that for us when we're putting all these things into our bodies to try and grasp onto youth when we're going to all age no matter what anyways?
I'm also a hip sister. I haven't had the hip surgeries, though it was threatened that I would since birth. And I understand what you went through. I have lived with people going through those hip surgeries, and I'm a hip specialist in one of my other backgrounds. And so yeah, it's like, how awesome. And if you haven't had a chance to check out your magazine, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's inviting. And maybe, I don't know if you have the capacity where you are to share your screen and give us a tour of your magazine, but we'd love that, or we can do it on our
She
end.
says it's actually on the website, or there's a sample there. We were trying to get that queued
Yeah.
up, but we couldn't.
Oh, we couldn't do it? Okay.
Yeah, we were struggling a little bit, but there is a sample. If you go to the tangledsilvermagazine.com, there is a little preview sample on there. But if you log in and sign up anywhere on there onto one of the contact forms, it will automatically send you the full magazine for free to check out, which is usually the best way, because then you get to see everything.
That's so great. That's so
Yeah.
great. So obviously the magazine is for primarily women.
Yes, we have a few male followers in the magazine, but it really was about encouraging women because, again, men are typically, they're distinguished as they get gray. I mean, nobody complains about George Clooney's gray, right?
Yeah, what
So
is
it was
that about? What is that about?
Well, I'm not really sure. I don't know who decided that men get to be distinguished and women get old. I mean, how did that happen? So, the magazine is just full of women's stories. Some of them are health related. Some of them are just because they were tired of coloring. But everybody has a different story. And I love to say it's like a quilt. We have individual intricate pieces that are made up, and then you put it all together in this beautiful warm quilt. And I feel like that's what this magazine is. It's bringing you all the different stories because somebody's going to connect with somebody amongst the stories and the information that's in there. And it's not just silver hair. I mean, yes, that's the primary key to it, was celebrating silver hair, but it's midlife as well. And it's just the topics that a lot of women are needing that support from. And sometimes they're afraid to ask. And so we kind of came together, and we think we've created a love letter for our silver community to kind of encourage you. And if you're not silver yet, but thinking about it, it's a great way to kind of dip your toe in and hear from other women that are doing it and where they started and where they've come. And I mean, it's so much more than color. And I don't think we all realize that when we start it, it's just a color choice, but then you get into it and suddenly you peel away all these layers. And like the Robin you see today is not the Robin of 10 years ago. The confidence, the security and who I am and aging is so abundant now.
Wonderful. How many people are subscribing to your magazine? How many women would you say?
So we have just under 3,000 that are actually getting the magazines in their inboxes. So we're pretty excited. Still a long ways to go because there's a lot more women around the world, but I am really proud to tell you that we actually are global. So we have readers over in the UK, we have readers in France, Italy. We have a gal who gets our emails in Russia and the Ukraine. I mean, it's just kind of crazy. The Philippines. We've managed to, silver is not a topic just located in the USA, right? It's for women in general.
Right on. And I'm looking forward to writing my article for you. Yes. And I'm being a part of how I can serve your community. It's so exciting what you're creating and how it's like taking beauty back and expanding what it means to be a beautiful woman.
Right. And really being okay to define it for yourself, right? Because we're kind of told like this is what it's supposed to look like according to a lot of the larger brands. They picture, here's what you need to be. This is this right here, but yet there's all this over here. And so it's really a matter of trying to say, okay, so why am I not defining this for myself? If I find this beautiful, that's what I should do. It's like style, right? It's all relative to what you enjoy versus the cookie cutter stuff that everybody else wants to wear. I mean, if you want to wear that, go for it. But if you really want to do something crazy, why not just do that as well? If that's what you think beauty is.
Love it.
Yeah, I was just listening to this book on tape. It's probably about the 5th time I've listened to this book. And he always gives the anecdote about, age really relates to kind of our energy, that like somebody can age like by 10 years just based on their mindset or how they think about things. So I think just by hearing inspiration, actually you can like literally like turn back the clock and how you appear to people. Because I mean, I really don't judge people based on age. It's more about their outlook and their energy. So like Erica, I feel like stays so youthful through all the great stuff that she does, and she's kind of encouraged me to do that. So I feel like I'm like younger now than maybe 5 years ago, just because I'm healthier and in a lot of ways.
Well, I think that's so true, David. It's what you, I mean, you kind of keyed in on it. It really is the mindset that's where it starts. Like, everything starts somewhere, but I think when you feed yourself the right stuff on the inside and emotionally and mentally, it's only going to be able to, come out, radiate from you in a sense, right? Like if you're giving yourself healthy stuff on the inside, that's the starting ground for making your healthy life choices. So yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it's all a mindset. I mean, I tell women that will tell me, well, oh man, if only my hair would come in that color, I'd go gray, but mine's really dark. And it's kind of, well, if you're telling yourself you're dark and dull and it's going to be icky, that's the message you're going to send as you walk out the door, because that's what you're telling yourself. But if you wake up in the morning and like our hashtag, I am silver beauty, if you're telling yourself I am silver beauty and you walk out feeling like I'm rocking this silver today, everybody else around you is pretty much, they might not like your silvers because they don't agree with silver, but they're going to see you carrying yourself in a positive light, which I think just totally makes a difference in how you come across. Silver is not dull. Silver doesn't have to be old or dingy. It's all about who's rocking it and how you're carrying yourself.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay, so where are you going next with this amazing magazine offering? Like, what do you see for yourself in the future?
Let me think. The future, I foresee us here in this next year, we're going to be doing some live events. COVID actually obviously had everybody in doing Zoom events, and Zoom events have been a great way for the community to grow when we couldn't get out there. I think it's really important to bring sisters together and actually see one another, touch one another, hug one another, and realize that, yeah, we really aren't alone in this journey. Sometimes, when you're going silver, you have friends that don't get it, or they're still struggling to stay young. So to have a connection that goes beyond just the Zoom calls and the phone calls, and actually be able to kind of link your arms, be like, hey, we're here, we're not going anywhere, and it's okay. So you'll see us doing a lot more of in-person events, as well as continue to ramp up. By 2024, we plan on being monthly versus bi-monthly. So lots of growth where Silver Sisters aren't going anywhere and the magazine's not going anywhere.
Congratulations. I mean, just to figure out the production of it, it's no small thing. I would love to see what the behind the scenes are like. Do you have like, you have a storyboard, or what do you, I just
behind the scenes? Oh, that's a little scary. it's like, okay, I probably shouldn't admit this, but behind the scenes is kind of a little bit like a child's playroom, right? When mom picks it all up and everything's put away really nicely and clean. And then you let Robin get into it, and you come back in that playroom and everything's all over the place. There's storyboards here, there's storyboards there. There's, color patterns on the floors. I mean, I get a little crazy when I'm in the creative process of putting all the articles together. We have amazing writers, such as yourself, that's going to be coming aboard and joining us, that share all this amazing wisdom. And then I am the blessed person that gets to then take it and figure out how to make it work in the magazine pages. And again, that's just like opening up the coloring book and handing me the crayons.
Yeah.
and I don't color in the lines.
It really is your genius. You really have a great eye. It's a beautiful work of art.
Thank you.
It pops. So, and I haven't had a chance to get deeper into it. Like, I know you let me access in there, but it's just beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank
what
you.
I've seen. I'm excited to see more.
Now,
thank you. That means a lot.
Advertisers too. Sorry to cut you off. Are
No.
you looking for advertisers as well, or other contributors? Is there anybody out there you're looking to connect with who might be listening?
Yeah. Yes, we're always looking for partners. I don't necessarily like the word advertisers, because I feel like when you come on board with us, you become part of our pack. You become part of our
sponsor
communities. Yeah, like sponsored partners, where we and we're kind of picky with that in a sense. We really want the brands that want to recognize what a unique time of life it is and want to celebrate us as well. We love anybody who is pro-aging versus necessarily anti-aging, or somebody that wants to relate to the women that are our readers. Don't sell us the women come to here, like I said, we don't want the fountain of youth. I don't want you having a 20-year-old trying to sell me a skin product to me, telling me it's going to help me anti-age on her youthful skin, because in my 20s, I didn't have wrinkles either. I didn't have eyes crows in my 20s that I have now. So we really are limited with our partners in the sense we don't want anybody and everybody. We want those who really value what this community is. And as far as contributors, it's the same kind of thing in a sense. If you have a story idea and you'd like to share it, you can always reach out via email to us and we can get a conversation started to see if it's going to fit. Again, it's all about the more we can help our community and help women embrace themselves, the better. So we're open for any of those kind of options.
So exciting. That's so exciting. And is there a particular topic that you would like contributors for, in that you're kind of having a hole that you want to fill or that you know of?
I think really, as far as that goes, I would like to see us open up a little bit more on our healthy lifestyle stuff. We have a great woman who provides us with plant-based recipes, but as we know, not everybody wants to be plant-based, but there's still lots of healthy ways that you can have meals that do involve meat if you're a meat eater. Like, I'd like to see a little bit more of that, some other options to kind of feed everybody. And like when it comes to exercise, it's such a diverse range. We have a yoga teacher that is providing some wonderful videos that are going to be going on the site pretty soon to kind of help with that piece of it, with mobility.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Things like that, because there's so many different things to do. And when you get to this point, there's so many, like, for instance, I can't run because of my hips. So that, my doctors are like, yeah, we'd rather you not run. You can do other things, but don't run because your hips won't last as long. And no offense, I don't want to go through another double hip surgery in 20 years from now if I can avoid it. So,
no, well, I'm so excited to be part of what could be supportive to you guys, you gals, and like some of the work that I do as a somatic trained therapist is like those alternatives to the canon of running or doing things like that. So I'm excited to serve and be part of your community. And like you were, when we were talking yesterday, you mentioned something about a possible retreat coming up. Like,
yes. So yeah, we're playing around with lots of stuff. We've been getting requests to do some sort of bigger event or retreat for a couple of years now. And so we're working on getting that together, and don't know if we'll do the retreat this year, but we will definitely do some in-person events, maybe the retreat if I can get it put together fast enough. But it'll take place in Colorado just because that's where we're home based out of. So first time, you always want to stay in your little home state to make sure that you have a little more control in that sense.
That's so exciting.
I think it'll be great. I can't wait to put my arms around some of these women that I've become friends with. I mean, that's the other thing with the silver community, because it's such a niche community. Some of us have been like, I would say some of my best friends I have met on Instagram. I have never spoken to them in person. It's always been Instagram or through Zoom calls, but I can't wait to get my hands around them and just wrap my arms around a hug. Like, I feel like I've known them forever. So you'd never know it was just through Instagram.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Happy for you.
Thank you.
Yes, I know I resonate with that. I'm some sort of like over Zoom. So yes, in person. When I was on this cruise recently, a couple of weeks ago with Katarina Rando and her community, it was like, we just couldn't get enough of the people. It was just like,
right. Well, I think for women, that's really important for all of us, right? I mean, women tend to be huggers in the first place, the majority of us. So for us, I think the COVID sticking us all in our houses and away from people really kind of was a mental struggle for a lot of us. Suddenly we were hermits, not because we wanted to be, but because it was forced on us. So I think we're going to see a lot more going forward with women being like, yes, let's reconnect again.
Yes.
Yeah, we should look at having you back at some point to maybe we could track down a collaborator or two to come on with us and tell their stories. I know we'll have Erika's article at that point, but if you have anybody who writes stuff when we resume our next season, we can have you back and maybe have a few kind of we call them testimonials, so to speak.
Oh, that would be fun. There's quite a few women that would have some great stories. Like I said, they range from all sorts of things. Some of them are health related, some of them are just because we're tired of doing it anymore. But yeah, there's some great women that would love to share their stories with you guys.
Yeah, how wonderful. I just even the room that you've created there behind you is just lovely. Like that cool chair, the poster with your magazine covers, and the what is that? What do you call that? A mannequin?
Oh, the mannequin, yeah.
I mean, it's so fun and playful and supportive. Like how wonderful.
Thank you. I feel like you have to have your environment, like your environment with the towers, right? You have to have your environment kind of feed your soul. So
Yeah, it's kind of a gray day here in the Bay Area. So I was like, let's bring some light into the situation
Yeah.
and green. So
yeah, I love it. It makes me kind of eager to be like, ooh, I need to check those out better. Although, because I have no green thumb, that's my problem. Right now I'm working on I have managed not to kill my bamboo plant.
yay. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, we'll put the link to the magazine. I know we're just about at time, so Erica's going to get back to her thing. I also want to put a link, Erica. I can put your website, but how does somebody find out about getting one of those towers from you? Because I know that's one of
Oh,
your businesses to help
sure.
people
I'll
get
get
those
you the
towers.
link.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll get you the link. It's easy peasy. And they could order it from you if you're still an affiliate. I forget. But
I'd
yeah,
rather have them get it from you because you're the expert, but I'm happy to put mine in too
I
if
think,
people
yeah,
have
put
questions.
yours. You're the originator of this situation. If you're still, why not? I think it's either davidkirsten.towergarden.com or whatever you set it up. We could figure that out. But I appreciate, your shout out, and people can also reach out to me to have a chat. Like that's how originally Robin and I got connected after it was such a nice gathering. I was on from New York visiting my people in New York, and I just got a really good feeling about that day. So I appreciate your yes to connect, and how wonderful that we created this magic of you coming on our podcast today.
Yeah.
On the fly.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for letting me share the story. And I can't wait to see what we can do next in the communities.
Yes, let's do it. I mean, the world is waiting for us, so let's do it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, great work, guys. Erica, are you in town or are you still out in New York?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
I actually passed by your house on Sunday,
Oh,
and
okay. I thought,
I'm right nearby.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'll see you in the morning then for our
See you in the
meeting.
morning. Oh yeah, we have a cool thing tomorrow, Visitors Day with our BNI chapter, Robin. If you want to come, I'll send you an invite for that.
Fly over there from Colorado.
Over on Zoom tomorrow. So come on over.
Oh, you're on Zoom. Okay,
Yeah,
that might be different.
I'll send you the invite. And if anybody would like to join our merry band tomorrow morning, just reach out to Dave or myself and we'll get you hooked up.
Okay, guys. Well, we're going to sign off for the ripple effect, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
Bye, everyone.